welcome everyone to the Science Festival Tour Guide Training. We are so pleased to have you all here because, frankly, without you, each and every one of you, school day just simply wouldn't be possible. We would have 1,500 children and teachers running higgly-piggly throughout the park, and they would miss the opportunity of connecting the science standards that they learn in their classrooms with real-world STEM, science, technology, engineering, and math concepts, right? But your job as tour guides is more than simply organizational and shepherding children from exhibit to exhibit. You have the opportunity to inspire these children, to really bring out their curiosity and their wonder and their excitement about learning. And to do this, you don't need any special skill. You don't have to know science or math or engineering. You simply need to allow that inner child to come out and ask questions, right? The beginning of learning is curiosity. Now, you can all probably agree with the experience that the beginning of learning doesn't start with, Eureka, I know the answer. It's more like, how'd that happen, right? So your job as tour guides is to take the opportunity to inspire and motivate, touch the lives of the children in our community. So that's the big vision of what you'll be doing as tour guides. So now I'm going to give you the details. So we'll start with the beginning. You should have all received an email with your directions to the parking lot and a parking pass. If you have not, please contact us. Today you'll be able to take one home, so you don't need to print it out. But if you haven't been receiving the emails, we really need to know. So let us know about that. So it's Friday morning. You arrive at the time you're supposed to on your shift. You're going to arrive about 20 minutes early. You will be coming to the Peter Rudy Wallace building, which is the volunteer center. At that point, you will be given a name tag with a lunch ticket in it that has free lunch for a beverage and lunch at the Reef, the student center. For those of you who don't know where that is, we'll tell you at the visitor center. On the back of that placard will be phone numbers. It'll be my number in case there's an emergency, but if there's a real emergency, call 911, which means please make sure your cell phones are fully charged and with you, because you not only need them in case you have some concerns, but you'll be using them as timing devices for each of the exhibits as you move through them. So when you get to the volunteer center, the first thing you'll be given is a map of the layout. So who here is familiar with the campus? Most of you are, but if you're not, don't worry. We have this map that gives you a broad bird's eye view, and hopefully it'll be much bigger, hopefully cover the whole page. And we have separate paths that are indicated by colors on the big map, so you have a general sense of where you're going. And then, on the flip side, in fact, I have, there we go. On the flip side, you will see a map. So, for instance, on this big map, there was a little red corner. You would walk to that corner, and you would see this is where you and your group will be for your 2 hours of exhibits. Each exhibit is numbered with both a number that's on the map and a number that will be right next to the exhibit. And then each of you will be given one row. So your name will be there, and as you come in, someone will say, hey, what's your name?
Cindy.
Cindy. You're going to take Melrose, there are 18 students, and this is the path you're to follow. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. If you look at this, you can see that each number is aligned with, and it'll be easier to see because on the day of the Science Festival, we'll have numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And you simply go in the order that you're given, okay? So some of you won't be doing it quite like that. We'll be having 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, things like that. So that your group in Melrose, you'll notice that Melrose and Lealman, they'll all be in the same area. So So that gives teachers kind of confidence. They can look around and see all the kids. And if there's anything that needs to be resolved, you as teacher, as docents, tour guides, are not in charge of behavior. You're simply in charge of curiosity, wonder, asking questions, and making sure they move from each exhibit on time. All right? So what happens, you come, you get your map. We hope that you'll go and take a walk to see where your path is. Then, at the designated time, so at 10 o'clock, we have 4 shifts. They start at 9, 10:30, 11:30, and 12:30. At 9 o'clock, or this is shift 2. So this shift starts at 10, and students are brought to the Student Center 2nd floor. And you'll see there's a star on this map. I actually have a big map here to show you. You'll see where the star is. This is where everybody starts. And what happens is the school children are brought by a bus, and since everyone's not going to come exactly on time, we kind of have this holding place for all the students to be entertained by mad scientists. The mad scientists will then entertain them, and during that time you're out checking your path. You must be back by 10:25 so that you can be assigned your group. So you'll come upstairs, you say to the coordinator who's wearing the oh, that's another thing you're going to get when you sign in, is a t-shirt. So you go to the coordinator who has the t-shirt on, and they will assign you to the appropriate group, all right? When they say, "Yes, go have fun," you will then guide your group to whatever part of the festival that's been designated. Is that pretty clear? Okay. So you've come, you've been given your lanyard and your lunch ticket and your t-shirt. You've checked the path out. Now you go upstairs, you find your group. You take your group from place to place. And can you believe it? I didn't bring in a passport. Each child will be given a passport. It's a little 8x10, and you will as well. Not 6 by 4. I just had them printed today. And the passport has questions, 3 questions, for every exhibitor on their path. So say, for instance, we're going to go on the green path, and they have a forensics exhibit. You're going to keep a watch of the time, and the last 2 minutes before you have to move on, because this helps the exhibitor as well, you'll say, "Wow, this was really exciting. Let's open up our passports." Every child will have a passport and a pencil, and you'll ask the questions. And you know, you can ask the exhibitor, or the exhibitor can ask the questions, but you want to start that process of having to ask the questions and having the students write the answers in the passport, okay? So that's the last 2 or 3 minutes. Get to the last question, write the last answer. Thank you so much, Mr. Ms. Exhibitor, and you move on to the next one. And you do that 6 or 7 times depending on your shift. Yeah? Sounds pretty easy, right? So, you're all done. Everyone's had a marvelous time. You bring them back. So if you're here at the red group, you're going to spend your 2 hours pretty much here in this corner. Bring them back, and you will stop here at the information booth. At the information booth, the teachers will be given a bag which has materials in it, and also there'll be cards for the exhibitors that we'd like the students to, say thank you to, so they can sign their name or do something like that. Okay? So that happens there. Then you go back to the Volunteer Center, and you have an opportunity to take a survey for a door prize to win. What is it? 2 days?
It's a 1-night stay at the State Bridges Hotel in St. Petersburg for 2 people.
So you can. It's a pretty good type of door prize because the odds are great. One out of 90 or 1 out of 120, right? Much better than the lottery. So any questions about the basic routine of what you'll be doing from start to finish. Pretty clear? And there'll always be people to help you. You can always ask me. Mary Ann is also part of the team. Teresa, raise your hand. Tanel is our volunteer coordinator. And Karen, she's a docent, but she's one of the leads here, so she might be able to, figure out or get one of us to answer the question. Okay? So, I'm going to pass this out to everybody, if you wouldn't mind. And I also have it on the screen. And this is let's see. Can you see it if I make it smaller? Or is it better bigger and we just scroll down? Oh, that's pretty good. So we'll just scroll down as we go. So here's basically what I just went over, but let's talk about it. So now we're going to get into more detail. You're up at the second floor. Math science is over. You have your group of 10 to 18 children. Take them down somewhere. There should be a teacher and a chaperone with each group, or at least one teacher or one chaperone, so you won't be all alone. You take them down, and the first thing you want to do is practice an attention signal of some kind, because you have 18 little people, and they need to know, when it's time to go, because they're going to get really involved in these activities. So, someone might say, "Give me 5," and you have students, "Give me 5. Give me 5. Everybody, give me 5. Everybody, give me 5. Yeah. So you have to make sure everybody makes the signal. If you don't like that one, you can try Science Fest. Rocks. You say rocks. Science Fest.
Rocks.
Science Fest.
Rocks.
Say it like you mean it. One more time. Science Fest.
Rocks.
Yeah. Okay. So you engender a little excitement, and you can say USF Bulls, whatever you like. But these are ones that work, and Science Fest Rocks seems to be a favorite. So that's the first thing. You must have an attention signal, right? Because every 15 minutes, you need to get their attention, and you need to move them to the next thing. So it's uber important. So you've gone over the attention signals. Next, there are ground rules. Whenever you're dealing with a group of people, you always have to establish some ground rules so that you have good communication and good relationship. So, you tell them that junior scientists, which all of them are, will listen when others speak. In fact, if you ask them, if someone else is speaking, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? Listen. You're going to listen. Junior scientists, they raise their hands if they have a question. Junior science needs to stay together. You want to make that very important. You need to stay together as a group. So you have to establish these things. They need to use the restroom. Let myself, the docent, or one of the chaperones know, and we'll figure it out. And then the nearest bathrooms, at the volunteer meeting place, we'll have a very big map, about the size of the screen. So you'll be able to see it a lot better, and we'll point out all the restrooms near your path. So there's at least one restroom near each one of your paths, okay? So, odds and ends. So you're going to get one of these, and you can, just keep yours now, but the one you get on Friday will be black and white. So you can use your lunch voucher whenever you like on Friday. It won't be any good after Friday, so if you're volunteering on Saturday, you'll get another one. And it will be for other places besides the Reef. I told you about the door prize. We'd like you to remember to have them sign the exhibitor thank you cards. It's really important to thank our exhibitors because, hey, they're just spending their time to do this for us, and we really appreciate it. And of course, we want you to have fun. Enjoy this experience. Enjoy motivating and exciting these students because it really is kind of fun. All right. Any questions so far?
You want me to stop it, or do you want to
Just one more thing.
continue? Okay.
Had one more general information. So everyone's good? You're so brilliant. No questions. How is that possible? Yes.
Hi, I came a little late. I see that everybody has papers and I haven't gotten them.
Well, okay. Good question. There should be a parking. So one is this should have been mailed to you. It tells you where to park, and there's a pass that you need to put on your dashboard.
Yeah, I live on campus.
Pardon?
I don't know. I live on campus.
Well, for those of you who, there are other people who came late, so I appreciate you asking. So for those of you who did come late, Teresa graciously printed this out for you so you don't have to print your own. So grab one of these if you like. The other thing that people received was the docent training, if you want to lift one up.
There isn't anymore. I think
Yeah,
there's
I
only
didn't get one.
Look, I'll get you some more. You'll get it there on Friday as well. I'll have them there. And then the final thing is just some general information about the festival, kind of common sense things. Wear comfortable shoes. It's going to be hot. Have sunscreen. Wear a hat if you like. The idea is it's not a big fashion statement, though fashion is always delightful to watch. Be comfortable because you're going to be walking. There's a lot of walking outside in the heat. Sunscreen, comfortable shoes, comfortable clothes. Right? Anything else to know that you'd want to share for general information for the volunteers?
Yep, just remember.
Want to come up here so our online people will see as well? This is Tanel, our volunteer coordinator.
Hi, how are you? And thank you all for being here. Couldn't be possible without people willing to guide a bunch of little people around. I guess just the one thing, some of us here are older and have had families, and some of us are just leaving our own parents. It's a family situation. There are lots of kids around, so keep that in mind. And it's exciting. We're coming to an end, and it's all gonna be good. And we are also, the people putting this on are also all volunteers, and so sometimes we're not, don't have things quite right. Forgive us and be patient, and we'll get through and have a very exciting time all together, and get some kids and so forth excited about learning science.
All right, well, thank you, all of you.
What if you're coming with your school?
If you're coming with your school, what I would recommend, bus or car?
Bus.
Great. So what happens is that the bus parks on 2nd Street, and as everyone's coming across the street, you just go into the volunteer center. The students will go up and be entertained by Mad Science on the 2nd floor, and then you can quickly, peruse where you're supposed to be walking, and then come back up before they end at 9:25. So you should hopefully be there at 9 o'clock. If you're a little late, you might want to, conceivably come early in a car if they don't think they'll be on time.
Okay, and we'll get the map of what course.
Absolutely.
we're
So that's
taking
why
down.
you're going to peel off and go to the volunteer center while the rest of the class goes up to the 2nd floor.
Thank you.
So along with the map of where we're going to be going, we're also going to be told what to say at each place that we're showing them?
Well, yes, the students will have a passport, and in each passport is the, I keep forgetting, I can show you one of these passports, I think, but maybe not, I may not have downloaded it. So, basically, there's a red passport, there's a green passport, a yellow one, a blue one, and a light blue one. And for each exhibitor, there are 3 questions. So you don't have to memorize the answers are written upside down on the next page. And, the answers aren't so important as the questions, as I'm saying. It's the curiosity. So you might ask more questions than what's on the passport. But the questions on the passport align with the tests, because when they get back to school, they're going to be given a short test to see if any of the stuff that they learned actually sank in. And we're hoping, because they're talking about it, they're writing it down, that somehow those aligned standards will actually match and sink in. Good question.
Now, Now, each exhibit, are they just gonna have their own presentation and then we ask questions post-presentation?
Or during, they're all very easygoing, these exhibitors, and
Okay.
sometimes they just catch your imagination. You have to say, but where did that metal come from? How did it turn blue? So that's part of the interesting. Usually these exhibitors are, many of them have been here for years. They've come, for 5 years we've been having this festival, and they've been here 3 or 4 years, so they know how to, put on a show.
Cool.
Anyone else? All right, so remember on your lanyard, you have my number. If you need it, call me, and I will help you the best I can. So charge your cell phones, protective clothes, have fun.
And if you came in late, don't forget to sign the yellow sheet.
Right, and get a parking ticket.